Habit number 1 is to filter the content you consume. The media content we consume each day can really have a big impact on our mind. So for example, if you want to be productive or be inspired, watch content that motivates you to be productive or that inspires you. And the same goes for our mood, because also the level of positivity of the content we consume has a pretty direct influence on our own level of positivity and basically optimism and our view of life. While it's good to be informed about what's going on in the world, sometimes the news are just bad and just negative, only negative or mainly negative. And that of course makes ourselves feel negative and pessimistic about ourselves and the world. For example, in the midst of COVID, I decided to avoid most news on that topic because first, I had all the very important information that I needed about the virus and about its consequences. And second, I did not want to know how many people are suffering from that virus, because that would just make me so sad and so angry, and it wouldn't help anybody. So I decided to ignore most or filter out most posts and news on that topic. And the same works vice versa. If I want to motivate myself to grow or to be productive, I watch content on, YouTube or Instagram, or I read books that motivate me and put me in that mindset of being productive. Or also if I'm just in a bad mood, I watch funny content because I want to lift my mood. So consuming content that's good for us and neglecting content that's not that good for us can be a really helpful habit to consider. Another habit that I built within the last few years is meditation. And before you click out, I know not everybody loves meditation or the idea of meditation. I didn't either before. I really was like, it's not for me. But when I started my 9-to-5 job, I decided to give it another shot, and I took 10 minutes out of my morning routine and sat down to try to meditate and kept myself used to that practice, because at first it's really hard, and it was so good. I really felt a difference so quickly. That's why I kept on going, because the effect was really significant. My mind was just so much more calm and didn't go crazy all the time like it did before, especially with all the new workload and being in a new company and just starting work life, not being a student anymore. It's not that easy of a time, at least for me it wasn't. So meditation really helped me to stay grounded, stay calm, and even in busy times I try to at least take 2 minutes out of my day to sit still for a moment and focus on my breathing. Another habit that is not a secret but it's really neglected too often, and it is to get enough sleep. When we sleep, our body and our mind regenerate and process what we experience and what's happened during the day. If we don't get enough sleep, it not only weakens our immune system and makes us feel groggy during the day, but we also have more difficulties dealing with stress and regulating our emotions. And our resilience, our ability to deal with stress and failure, is crucial for our mental health. So if that resilience is weakened by sleep deprivation, the negative things in life, which we sometimes just cannot avoid, get to us more than necessary. So creating a habit of taking enough time for our sleep and doing what it takes to have a good quality sleep is really beneficial for our mental health. Speaking of sleep, the next habit that I'm recommending is to make your bed. I know it sounds very simple and you probably heard it before, but since I started doing that, I really felt a difference. First, it's very easy to do, and it still feels like you kind of achieved something already in the beginning of the day without putting much energy into it. And second, when you look at that nice organized bed during the day, that helps to organize your mind as well. And speaking of organizing, the next habit is keep it tidy. Our environment has a significant impact on our mental well-being. Studies show that decluttering your home can also declutter your mind. And there are many people who like to clean or tidy up their home or their desk whenever they feel sad or have a lot on their mind. And cleaning helps to calm their mind down and to kind of declutter or clear their mind as well. I'm unfortunately not one of those people. I don't naturally like to clean or tidy up, but if I do, I feel so much better afterwards. For example, if I clean my kitchen in the evening and wake up to a clean and tidy kitchen, I just start the day totally different and with a clearer mind than if I didn't. So I started to get myself used to that habit, for example, where I just have a clean kitchen before I go to bed. And what helps me to keep it tidy, even though I don't really like tidying up, is not having that much stuff to tidy up. Which brings me to my next habit, and that is get rid of things that you don't need. If there are things that I'm not using or I don't really need or enjoy, whether that's clothes or old flyers or a body lotion that my skin doesn't really like or a plant-based pasta that tastes a bit weird, I get rid of it by selling or donating my clothes or, giving the pasta to a friend who likes that weird taste. And I wouldn't consider myself a minimalist, but I try to keep it as minimalistic as it feels right for me by getting rid of the things that I don't need. And that helps me to keep my environment and with that, my mind clear. Another habit that I've been doing since I can remember basically is having me time. Being alone, especially in public, is something most of us don't really feel that comfortable with. However, being by ourselves sometimes is really important to stay in connection to ourselves and to get to know ourselves better without others distracting us. Plus, being able to spend time alone and enjoy it makes us feel more independent because we're not dependent on other people to do stuff with us. And being independent is usually always good for our mental health. Because we don't stress ourselves out if we can't find someone to go to that exhibition with, but we just go ourselves and enjoy it. So me time doesn't have to be in the sense of taking a bath. I mean, it totally can, but it can be everything you enjoy doing, like cooking a nice dinner for yourself or go see a movie. I personally block myself one evening per week, every week, where I just spend quality time with myself and just do whatever I'm feeling like. The next habit is to take walks. By now, it's not a secret anymore that movement is crucial for our mental well-being. Especially taking relaxing walks can really help us calm down and help us to get out of our head and, be aware of our surroundings. And that effect is even stronger if we take walks in nature, whether that's a park or a forest or a beach, if you're lucky enough to have one nearby, because nature has a really incredible effect on our mental well-being. And since I got my puppy, I'm naturally taking a lot of walks, but before that I used to walk almost everywhere when I was meeting someone close by. Another habit that you might have heard before, but that's really important, is be grateful. And I know so many people are talking about this and you might be thinking, how can I be grateful if everything in my life is so shitty? But seriously, focus on what's actually good. And in every life, there's something good, believe me. And that can be anything. You can be grateful for your puppy or that delicious breakfast or for being healthy or, just for being alive. Being grateful can actually modify our mind and it produces happiness hormones, which obviously are good for our mental health. And speaking of happiness hormones, something else that produces them a lot is doing something you love each day, even if it's just for a few seconds. When we spend time doing something that we love, we are happy. And on the flip side, if we spend most of our time doing something we don't like, that ain't good for our mental health. But of course, sometimes it's inevitable that we do stuff we don't like. Especially then, it's even more important to carve out that extra time in your day to do something that you love. And that could be anything. That doesn't have to require that much time. That can be cuddling your puppy or, going to a dance class or having dinner with a close friend. These are 10 of my favorite habits for a good mental health. If you have any habits that I have mentioned that could help others, let us know in the comments, and thank you for watching.